So if we just scroll back to the previous screen, you can see that whatever items or locations we have copied from, those all are available on this clipboard pane. So there are 3 locations from which content have been copied. Subsequently, if I want to go ahead and we want to paste these items anywhere on the Excel sheet, we can just select this particular content, or we can just drag it by clicking our left mouse option, and by continue to click it, we can just drag this particular content from the clipboard pane to the actual worksheet. Now, as we keep on pasting content in this particular pane, Clipboard would go ahead and keep on adding newer items copied on the top of the pane, and the oldest item would slowly move at the bottom. Like this, what we can do is we can copy 24 items at one go, and all the 24 items copied would be displayed on the clipboard. The moment we go ahead and copy any other content from a 25th location, the 25th content would be displayed at the top of the screen, but the initial first content would be removed from the clipboard. So, like I said, that if we want to find out how our clipboard is going to look like when we are working in any office software for that matter, we have got some display options. So, as you can see on your screen, there are typically 5 display options which are available as part of clipboard. So, the first one is show office clipboard automatically. So, the moment you click on your home tab, your clipboard option would be displayed automatically while copying items. Similarly, show office clipboard when Ctrl+C is pressed twice. With this option, what we can do is, once we click on Ctrl+C twice, the sheet would automatically display the office clipboard once the Ctrl+C option is pressed twice. Other than that, we have collect without showing office clipboard option. So, apparently what happens if we select this? It goes ahead and automatically copies the items in the office clipboard, but the display option in terms of the clipboard pane is invisible. So, your clipboard would not be visible to you, but your content would still be copied in the clipboard. Next, we have show the office clipboard icon on taskbar, like we just now saw on our screen. In the ribbon tab, you can go ahead, in the home tab, we can go ahead and we can have our clipboard clearly visible. And the final option is show status near taskbar when copying. So, what it does basically, once you have selected this option, it displays the collected item message when copying items to the office clipboard. So, normally speaking, this is the default option. So, every time you copy newer items from different locations, your clipboard pane would be automatically highlighted and it would show you what all content have you copied from different locations. So, clipboard is basically a very good option to find out what all documents or what all contents we have gone ahead and copied, and if we want to work with these documents at a later date also, we can just save the workbook. Your clipboard content would also be saved along with that. So, we do not need to copy every time the same document from the same location. we can just open the clipboard, search for the document or the content, and then simultaneously we can go ahead and paste it in whatever locations we want to paste it. The next part would be used to talk about something very important in Excel. What is basically one of the important usage of Excel known as formatting. So what is basically formatting in Excel? Formatting is basically a technique which is used to modify the appearance of data in a worksheet. So once you have gone ahead and entered some information in MS Excel, you may want to present it before your fellow colleagues or fellow students by styling it up. You want to go ahead and use some different color, use some different font size, use some different alignment. So eventually, formatting is the option in Excel which allows you to do this, all these kind of changes, and simultaneously you can go ahead and present the information in the way you would like it to present. Second importance of formatting is it helps to present data correctly. Sometimes some data might not be visible clearly. So you can use the formatting option to make the data better visible to our audience. And we can use the formatting text option for increasing the size of the text, to bold or highlight any part of the text. If you want to go ahead and stress on any word or stress on any type of data, you can use italics, or you can go ahead and change the font just to improve upon the overall look of the data. And once you have formatted the data, you can go ahead and use charts. We can go ahead and represent the data using various types of charts. Charts means basically graphs. So you have got various types of graphs which are available in Excel, which would help you to represent the data in a picture format. Okay, so like I was saying that once you have entered the data in Excel, we can go ahead and use different types of charts or graphs to represent the data in a picture format to better analyze the data. And we can also go ahead and appropriately highlight specific data, such as how much profit was earned in a business, how much loss was incurred in a business. So for which month profit was earned in the business, for which month did we incur any kind of loss in the business, we can use the formatting option to find out. So as you can see on your screen, Excel provides us with 6 different formatting options. So on the left hand corner, you can see the option number. Next, we have the option alignment. Next, we have the option font. The fourth option available to us as part of formatting is basically fill. The next option is border, and the last option available in formatting is protection. So now let us go ahead and see very quickly what each of these options basically talk about. So how each of these options are useful while we are handling data in Excel. So like I said, that the first formatting option available is the number tab. Now the number tab actually allows us to do what? It is used to format the way that the numbers will be displayed. So, what we can do? We can find out whether our data comprises of percentage, whether the data which has been entered is actually a date, whether the data entered inside the Excel sheet comprises a currency like Indian rupee or US dollar for that matter. So, based on the representation of the data, the corresponding number formatting can be carried out. So, if it is a date, we can apply the date option and then we can find out which type of date option we are supposed to go ahead and use. So, shall we use day, month, year, or month, day, year, or a long date, that means 24th of September 2021, or a short date, so 21/09/2021. So, which of these date options are we supposed to go ahead and use? That we can select from the number tab. So, what basically we are supposed to go ahead and do then? So, first we are supposed to select the cells which we are going to modify. Next, we would click on the Home tab and we would select Format and then Format Cells. So, once we click on Format Cells, the Format Cells dialog box is going to open. So, once you have clicked on the Format Cells, the category list opens up in the Number tab, which allows us to see which format we are supposed to go ahead and use. So, whether would be using date, whether we would be using time, whether we would be using percentage, whether we would be using currency, any of these we can select from this particular Number tab, which is available as part of formatting is the Alignment tab. Alignment means how your data is supposed to look like inside the cell. The position of the data inside the cell is highlighted by the term alignment. So, by default, any Excel format actually goes ahead and formats the text to the bottom left of a cell and numbers to the bottom right. So, any text which you enter would be placed on the bottom left corner of the cell. Any number that we enter would be placed on the bottom right corner of the cell. And the Alignment tab actually allows us to customize the way that we would like our values to be aligned both vertically or horizontally. Similarly, some more alignment options that are provided to us comes in the form of text wrapping or shrink to fit or cell merge. So, what is text wrapping? Text wrapping comprises of going ahead and increasing the size of the cell automatically to include the entire text inside a specific cell. So, if you have entered a complete sentence inside a cell which is not visible to us once we move to the next cell, what we can do? We can select the first cell where we have entered the long sentence. So, you can enter your name like I can enter my name saying my name is Shankha Sengupta. Now, the entire sentence might not fit inside the cell or might not be displayed completely once we move the cursor to the next cell. So, to ensure that the entire sentence my name is Shankha Sengupta is displayed to any audience inside the first cell, we are supposed to select the first cell, then click on wrap text. The size of the first cell would be increased automatically, keeping in mind the length of the sentence, and the entire sentence, my name is Shankha Sengupta, would be displayed clearly inside the first cell. Similarly, you want to go ahead and include two cells together, or you want to go ahead and join two different cells together. You can select 2 or 3 different cells that you want to join, and you can click on the option merge cells. All the 3 cells would be merged together. So, how do we go ahead and start this alignment optioning? Again, we go to the Home tab, we click on Format and Format Cells. Once the Format Cells dialog box open, we can select the Alignment tab, and once we open the Alignment tab, we can see the text alignment options. So, horizontal option, vertical alignment option, then text control options like I said, wrapping the text, merging different cells, and the text direction. So, whether you want the text to start from left and then move to the right of the cell, or you want the other way around, you want the text to be moved from the or start from the right of the cell and then move towards the left, you can select using this alignment. The next option which is available as part of formatting is known as the font. So, if you want to carry out some quick changes to the font that you are using, you can select this option. So, again you go to the Home tab, you select Format and then you select Format Cells, and then once the Format Cell dialog box open, this time we select the Font tab. So, in this Font tab, we can go ahead and change the typeface of the font, the actual font that you want to use. So, you want to use Times New Roman, you go ahead and select that. You want to use Arial, you can go ahead and select that. You want to use Calibri, you can go ahead and select. So, how your data is going to look like? You can select the font type or the typeface of the font. You can select the font size. You can select whether to highlight a typical data, like in any table, the first row comprises the headers like name, age, gender. So, you want to go ahead and specify or highlight the header. So, you can use bold to go ahead and find out which column represents which type of data. So, you can just highlight on the option name or age or gender, just for others to find out while they are looking at the Excel sheet which column represents what. Or sometimes you can highlight using the italicizing option or italics option. Or sometimes you can go ahead and underline a specific cell to highlight. Or basically you can go ahead and change the color across any of the cell just to specify it. The next option which is available as part of the formatting options is border. So, Excel actually provides us with an option where we can construct borders around a single cell or a typical range of cells. So, you can go ahead and determine where the borders would be drawn or where the boundary would be actually drawn. So, whether it would be only on the top of the cell or on all of the horizontal sides, and you can actually go ahead and decide on the thickness, color and line style of each border. So, for going ahead and using this border option, what we are supposed to do is again go to the Home tab, click on Format and Format Cells, and once the Format Cells dialog box opens, now we are supposed to select the border option. So, once we have selected the border tab, we can go ahead and find out whether we want to add a border across a typical data, whether we want to remove any already existing border or boundary in a typical data. We can click on the button for a typical border and then we can select the type of bordering, whether we want the border to be thin in size or we want to thicken the border size. What kind of color we can go ahead and represent the border. So, if there are multiple borders provided across a typical data, you can use different colors and different thickening option based on the importance of the data that you want to highlight. The next alignment option or basically alignment style that has been provided to us inside the alignment tab is basically fill. So, the fill tab in the Format Cells dialog box actually allows us to set the background color of all selected cells, and it might include applying two color patterns or different types of shading available in the patterns option. So, how do we go ahead and do that? So, for that we again first open the Format Cells dialog box, then we click on the Fill tab. In our case, we can go ahead and select the pattern style. We can go ahead and select the pattern style and find out what background we are supposed to go ahead and use for our cells. As an additional option, we can also choose to set a pattern color to accompany our pattern style. At any given point in time, if you want to return to the previous pattern, what you were using earlier, you can just select the no color option inside the pattern style window, and the changes that you have made in the form of your pattern would be removed and you would return to the previous pattern that you are actually using. And the last alignment option that is provided as part of our formatting is known as the protection tab. So, unlike any of the previous options, pattern options or basically alignment options that we have seen, the protection tab does not normally apply unless we have already protected our worksheet. So, why do we need protection? Because we might have some very important data provided inside the sheet, maybe the salary of a set of individuals and the amount of tax that they pay on a per month basis based on their salary. So, this data is highly confidential. If it's leaked, people might misuse this data, or sometimes what might happen, we might go ahead and store mobile numbers or phone numbers or contact information about some high profile celebrity in an Excel sheet, and we want to ensure that this data is not leaked or provided to any other individual, just to figure out that the privacy of the individuals are maintained. We all know how important our celebrities are, like film stars, cricket personalities, sports personalities for that matter, and anywhere we have the data related to their home address, office address, their mobile number, their email ID for that matter, we have entered it in any Excel sheet. We want to ensure that this data is not leaked at any given point in time. So, for doing that, what we are supposed to do is, we are supposed to open up the Format Cells dialog box and now select the Protection tab. And then once we have selected the Protection tab, we can select Protect Sheet and then select the Contents checkbox to find out exactly how the worksheet needs to be protected. So, one of the options available as part of the Protect Sheet document or Protect Sheet window is the option known as Locked. So, once you have clicked on this Locked option, any user of that Excel sheet is prohibited from carrying out any of these options. So, changing the cell data or any formula that you have used to calculate the tax, like I said, the example that I gave, the tax calculated from the salary of an individual, you have calculated it using a formula. Now, once you have locked the worksheet, no other individual using the same worksheet would be in a position to go ahead and change the formula in the sheet. Similarly, typing any data in any empty cell, moving any kind of cell, resizing any kind of cell, deleting any cell or any contents of any cell. So, eventually, these are the 6 different tabs which are available as part of our alignment functionality in MS Excel. In this particular session, we have looked into the various formatting options, and we have looked into the different types of tabs which are available inside a formatting option, and the different types of ribbons, what are the usage of the ribbons, and or how different type of formatting can be carried out while considering our requirement. Thank you.